Hello everyone, this is the video of Business Element class 10 and it covers the first topic, that is joint stock company. Okay, so first we will check out what are the syllabus topics that we need to study under the unit first of elements of business. So let's check it out. That is syllabus. The first one is joint stock company. We will discuss about the meaning of joint stock company and its features. Okay. The second one is the private company. Okay. And again we will discuss about the meaning of private company and features of the private company. Third one is public company, and again we will discuss about the meaning and features of the public company. And the last one that we have, that is multinational company, and again about the multinational company we will discuss its meaning and features. So this is all about the syllabus that we have under the unit first. Okay, so let's begin with the topic, that is company. First we will check what is meaning of company. Only then we will able to understand what are the different types of companies and what are their functions, features, etc. So let's first understand the meaning of the company. What is the meaning? As you can see here, a company is a person, artificial, invisible, intangible, and existing only in the contemplation of the law. Being a mere creature of law, it possesses only those properties which the character of its creation confers upon it, either expressly or as incidental to its very existence. I believe this is very complicated definition and you lost somewhere. But don't worry, we will check it one after another. As you see here in this definition, that a company is a person, artificial, invisible. So let's understand first three words. Normally we call the human being as a person, so it is a living person, human being, that can think something independently, that can do something independently, isn't it? So why company is being called as person? Okay, so as being a person, you have the certain rights, you have the certain freedoms, you have the certain independence or something like liberty to make your decision. On top of this, you have the right to file a lawsuit against someone. Okay, so these are the features that being a person you have. So similarly, now you understood what are the features a person has. So here company is being said as a person. So all those features means it has the freedom, it has the liberty, it has the right, it has the liabilities, it has the obligations. So everything it has, and this is the reason that it is known as person. And on top of this, as I said, being a person, you have the right to initiate a lawsuit against someone. So company has the right to initiate the lawsuit against someone, and someone can also initiate the lawsuit against the company. So because of all these features, a company is known as person. Now the next thing, that is saying artificial. Now as we know that we are something like natural. Okay, a human being is not creating the second human being in the sense manufacture, but company is the entire creation of a human being. So it is an artificial, though it's a person, but it is artificial. Again, invisible, the company is invisible. Well, of course, you see the building and all the kind of business companies practicing, but actually it is invisible. If you want to see where is company, well, you can see the building, you can see the workers, you can see the products, you see the different entities, different elements that constituting a company, but actually you do not able to see the company, so it is invisible. Now the next term, that is intangible. Intangible means which can be touched. So if it is invisible, then how you supposed to touch the things? So based on that, it is intangible and existing only in the contemplation of the law. Well, it is formed, means a company is formed only as per the law. So law allows to create certain types of companies, only then these companies are created. Otherwise it is not possible, means a person independently without the permission of the law cannot create a company. So it means a person who wants to create a company, he needs to take permission from the law. Okay, so without the role of a law, a company cannot be created. Being a mere creature of law, so it is saying that being a mere creature of law, it is created by the law, so it is creature. It possesses only those properties which are character of its creation confers upon it either expressly or as incidental. It is its very existence. Well, of course it is not a much difficult point to appreciate, because you know whatever property you have, means your home, you have the garden or whatever car, so all those property belong to you. But others car you won't have saying something like that is yours, others house you are not saying like that is yours, isn't it? Similarly, whatever the property is that is created regarding that company, that belong to that company or else not, so it is saying like that. So this is all about the meaning of a company. I believe you must understood, because all the concept that we are going to discuss, that depends upon the understanding of this company's meaning. Okay, if you understood it, then subsequent terminologies will be very easy to appreciate. Okay, so now let's check the second point. It is the characteristics of the company. What are the characteristics? You can see here. Incorporated association. Well, of course a single person cannot form a company, there are limitations, so certain number of people are required, so it is incorporated association, so certain number of people creating the association and then incorporated. Okay, the next point is artificial legal person. We have discussed in detail what is meaning of artificial legal person. Okay, so it is not a natural, rather artificial legal person, because legal in the sense it can sue someone on its own name. For example, there is a company, Pepsi. Pepsi can file a lawsuit against you or any person by its own name. Pepsi versus Mr. Rohan. So you can say like that, because Pepsi has the right, since it is a legal person, so it has the right to file a lawsuit on its own name. Similarly, you can file the case against the Pepsi company, not against the director, chairman or any such person, rather you need to file the case against the company's name only. So if you have any issue regarding the Pepsi, then you will file the case against the company. So the name will be Mr. Rohan versus Pepsi. Okay, so this is how it is a legal person. The next point is separate legal entity. Of course it has the all the features that integrated into this, that is under the name of the company, so it is a separate entity, or that is legal entity. And so now I believe you must understood what is legal, artificial, separate. Okay, so now the next characteristic is Perpetual existence. What does it mean? That the literal meaning of perpetual is something exists. Normally, it has no time limit. As being a person, we have the time limit. We can die after a certain number of years, or we don't know. Basically, our life is unpredictable. Nevertheless, as per the speculation or the life expectancy, say we have 70 years or 75 or even 80 years life expectancy. But after that, anyway, we are going to die. But with company, matter is not like that. It has the perpetual existence. So time limit is not speculated. It can exist any number of years. Okay, as it is artificial person. So if a person, shareholder or the owner, basically no one is the owner in a company, rather it is a shareholder, and there are many shareholder of a company. Okay, so shareholder can die, but because of the death of a shareholder, irrespective of his position in that company or irrespective of the share he has in that company, it doesn't matter. If he dies, doesn't matter, the company will still exist. Okay, so it is meaning of perpetual existence. So there is no time limit. Okay, the next characteristic is common seal. Of course, you must have seen that the seal of a company, a small firm or every organization has a seal, that you can see that. Yes, a putting by the name of the company itself and the director and the chairman or other authoritative person who's supposed to be signing on that seal putting. So that is the something like a characteristics that essentially required a company to have it, authorizing any document and all. And that basically saying that this document sealed with the name of the company and duly signed by the respective authority means that is saying that that document is genuine. Okay, now the next characteristic is limited liability. Well, if you have some other type of business, then you are whole and sole liable for that. But in company, your liability is limited up to that extent as you share your property or capital in that company. So say a company worth of 1,000 crores and you have 100 crores share value in that company. So you are liable only for that much, not for the whole of the company. Okay, so your liability is limited only the amount of investment, that is in terms of capital or share, also known as you invested in that company. So there is limited liability. The next point is transferable shares. That is again an interesting point. It means you can transfer your share to someone else. If you want, you can sell your shares. Okay, so that is another freedom you have. Separate property. Again, this is interesting. A company can buy a property. As I discussed above that, a company can file a lawsuit, company can do this and do that. So similarly, a company can buy the property on its own name. Okay, so that belongs to that company, not to any individual or any shareholder. Okay, so that is separate property. So company can own separate property. Next one is delegated management. What is delegated management? Delegated management means the management of the company, the businesses of the company that can be delegated means deputed to given someone. There are so many directors, isn't it? In a company, there are so many directors, so many managers, and all. They are basically given the power to run the business, to manage the company. So that is another property of a company. Last one is the companies in India are governed by Indian Companies Act. That is saying that a company in India, of course, if you remember or you can check that contemplation of the law, it is made under the law. So there is a separate law that governs such activities or businesses of a company, that is known as Indian Companies Act. Okay. Now we will check the types of the company. The first one is joint stock company, that is given in the syllabus. Second one is private company. Third one is public company. And the last one is multinational companies. Okay. In our syllabus, it is given, okay, but it doesn't mean that the types of company there are only four. There are many, but these are the important one. Okay, so you need to focus on only these four at this level. At higher classes, you will study in detail, but at this point in time, try to understand all these four types of the companies. So now you understood the meaning of the company, the characteristics of the company. So if you understood nicely, only then you can appreciate the joint stock company, private company, public company, multinational company, because the 50% you already understood and 50% part that you need to understand, isn't it? So let's move on next concept, that is joint stock company.